NoEqual.co channel. Now, as you know, for our Ford Mustang project car, we are right now at the end of the completion for phase 1. Now, the original seats on the Mustang EcoBoost are a bit plush and sofa-like. If we got the 5-litre GT variant, they would have come with a pair of Recaro semi-bucket seats. The standard EcoBoost variant will only come with those rather plush and comfy seats, which is perfect for long distance or dailyable cruising. However, for the things that we want to do with the car, it may not be too perfect. And there's of course the other thing is the fact that I reckon those seats are quite heavy. Now today, of course, we are with Recaro Automotive Malaysia and we're trying to see how they can fix us with a pair of bucket seats for our project car. Now, of course, there are a couple of benefits to installing bucket seats on your car. The first is, of course, it will hold you in tight on the spirited drive. Because of the single shell structure, it is designed to keep you centered and balanced on the wheel. So as the car moves about on a spirited drive or on track, you don't have to keep adjusting your butt. That ultimately gives you more confidence on the drive and, of course, ideally, hopefully, make you go a little bit quicker around the track as well. And of course, they're also very, very light. As you can see, these RSGs, you can sort of lift it like this, but trust me, the original seats, you won't be able to do that. Now, we've done a little bit of weight measurement on our stock seats, and with the airbag and all the electric motors underneath, one seat alone will weigh around 24-25 kilos, which is crazy heavy because a full bucket seat like this will weigh less than 10 kilos depending on the variant and model that you choose. With that alone, we can ultimately give a little bit of weight shedding for our car for around 15 to 20 kilos in total, which is a lot. So we've opted for a pair of these, the Recaro Pole Position ABE, which Recaro says is perfect for track performance and dailyable comfort. What we're most intrigued about this is because these seats only weigh 7.5 kilos a piece, which means that putting side by side, a pair of these will only weigh somewhere around 15 kilos without the seat rails and L bracket installed. Now, I have to admit, there are some drawbacks to installing a full bucket seat into your car. All of it are to do with day-to-day living with them. Now, for example, getting in and out of the car will be a little bit of a hassle because of the rather high sills. So you have to sort of place yourself into the seat. And of course, on long journeys, it may be a little bit more uncomfortable, especially for the passenger, because you lose a little bit of the reclining ability, which, for example, you can on a semi-bucket seat. However, for the things that we plan for the car, we think that a full bucket seat is perfect, and especially taking into mind just how heavy a stock Ford Mustang is. So a little bit of weight shedding is perfect for the things that we want to achieve with the car. So now that we've chosen our seats, let's get them installed onto the car. Now that you've chosen the seats, actually installing these bucket seats onto the car may not be as straightforward as you might think. There are a couple of parts that you actually need to pair up with the seats so that you can have them installed onto your car. First and foremost is, of course, the rails. Now, we've got a rail here. Now, yes, Recaro as a brand, they actually make rails for most enthusiast-driven cars. But sadly, particularly for the Mustang, they didn't quite make one. So we had to opt ourselves for the Recaro Universal Rails, where you can get it custom mounted, and we got in touch with Super Circuit, the official Recaro Malaysia panel, to have these custom seat mounted for our car. So once you've sorted the rails, what you need are these L brackets, which are mounted to the side of the seats onto the rails. Now for the pole position, it's a little bit different because unlike the SPGs and RSGs, they can use similar Recaro L brackets, but for the pole position, they're a little bit special because of the shell on the pole position is slightly bigger and the mounting points are a little bit different. So luckily, of course, Recaro Malaysia have all of these parts in stock. So once you've got all these optional bits and bobs for the car, it's just a matter of 4 bolts and screws to get it mounted onto the car. So, installation complete, and just take a look at it immediately. It's a world of difference being inside this cabin. The car feels a lot more solid and sorted. I feel a little bit more driver-centric now that the seats are hugging me. So of course, we opted for the red and black option, and the main reason was of course to match the trims on this car. It's got a little bit of that watermelon outlook with the exterior being green and the interior being red, but black can be a little bit too boring, and we don't have much of an issue because the original color of this car is red. So even if we do decide to remove the wrap on this car, then at least the red will match the exterior. Overall, what I love about changing bucket seats is immediately you get this feel that you're driving a lot lower, and that's because of the seat mount rails. The car feels a little bit more hunkered down and low. I thought that the stock seats didn't quite have the perfect driving position that I wanted out of it. And now, well, at least I feel a little bit lower. The seat is a little bit more tilted because of the positioning on the L bracket that we've designed. Because of the positioning of the L bracket that Recaro has designed, and we opted to have the fronts a little bit tilted higher, which gives you that hunkered down feeling on the rear. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's a little bit of a getting used to because of the higher seals on the side, but gladly Recaro seals are a little bit more friendly than, for example, other makes, because they are low on the front and just a little bit hunkered down on the sides, which are fine. So this will of course come into play once we bring this on a spirited ride, or especially on track, because this car will be moving about. It's a big thing, and I'm sure all of that will change a little bit of the persona of this car once we take it through its spaces a little bit more.